This is Minister Kujanga Elia Ashe, Ambassador to the United Nations, and today is March 20th, 2020. It's a Friday, beginning of the Sabbath evening. With this same trumpet, in 2016, I played at the United Nations a charge, and there were 4 Hebrew Israelite brothers behind me, and they had a Hebrew Israelite flag that my wife had designed. And I held my hands up to the nations, to the heavens, and I said that if we didn't get our reparations and our repatriation, that the nations would be cursed. Now that video is back on Facebook now. Today we're faced with the coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus. And this is just the beginning of sorrows. You can find all of these prophetic revelations in the First Testament as well as the New Testament. The book of Revelations, chapter 6, verses 6 and 7 and 8 speak to what's going on today. It is sweet in my mouth to know that the Most High is letting this happen, and that I prophesied that it would happen to all the nations of the world. But it's a bitter pill in my belly. I'm in the process right now of writing the One Percenters, the 12 or so great families that run the World Bank and the Federal Reserve Bank. I'm going to send them a letter requesting $4.4 million for reparations and also quantitative easing. I'm going to write them, and by the time you receive this video, view this video on YouTube or on an email or on Facebook, my letter will have already gone out to them. I'm not going to ask anybody to do something that I would not do myself. So as a leader, I'm doing that first. You are right, Chairman Jerome Powell, Chairman of the Board of Governors, and he's located at 20th Street and Constitution Avenue Northwest, Washington, D.C., 20551. The best way to reach the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System is through email. The email is F as in Frank, R as in Rabbit, board-public affairs at frb.gov. That's FR board-public affairs at frb.gov. Now, the Federal Reserve Bank is owned by a number of families. It is not a federal institution, although they put the word federal there. It's the central bank. And you need to read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, which tells you about how the central bank was developed. And you need to read the Uniform Commercial Code to tell you how they operate. Those are big, thick books. But if you want to hide anything from the common people, put it in a book. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, before we start our demonstrations and before we start doing mass public disobedience, try every legal means to get our redress. The legal means that we're trying first, we're going to make a formal request for our reparations monies. This is a perfect time because since they would not give the reparations and repatriation to the Hebrew Israelites who are here in America, which is predominantly most of the quote-unquote Afro-Americans, African Americans, then we only wanted $23 trillion over a period of 20 years. Now they're going to have to pay $50 trillion to get this nation back on track. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to write and request that the Board of Governors and the owners of the Federal Reserve Bank do the right thing. I will offer my services to help them do the right thing. And then we will also have a petition on change.org. If they refuse us, then we'll go to the demonstration mode and we'll make a demand. Power yields nothing without a demand. Thus said Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey, commonly known as Frederick Douglass. Then after that, we'll move to the next stage. So right now we are at the request stage. We're going to do everything that we possibly can to get our reparations. They might as well pay us now because they're going to have to pay everybody. Reparations for all. Because all these businesses are closed down. 75 million people are on lockdown. Stay-at-home orders by the governors of various states. Businesses are closing. Everything's upside down. This is just the first plague. This is not the last one. If they do not give us what the Almighty wants us to have, that they've stolen from the earth and from us, then there will be a lot more plagues. This is Minister Kujanga Elia Ashe, Ambassador to the United Nations. I can't go this year because not only is the United Nations closed, the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Peoples issues, but also all of New York City is closed down. Signing off for now. Peace and blessings.